The process is exactly the same though. So if we can change these into improper fractions, we'll find a common denominator, and then we'll either add or subtract. Number 4 there has 3 numbers though, so well, they just may make the problems longer. Add or subtract and simplify. Well, I just want to say we should just make this a mixed number, 7 2/3, because we have a whole number and a fraction which is being added, which really is kind of the very basic definition of a mixed number. Alright, so this one would be a little bit more appropriate. By the way, that last one, right, you could change the 7 to 7/1, find your common denominator, add, and then simplify. But since all these need to be as mixed numbers anyways, we'll just keep it that way. So I'm going to change 1 2/3 into a mixed number, multiply and then add, right? 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 5/3 plus 3/7. So now we're looking at a problem similar to the one from the last section. We have two fractions that do not have common denominators, so we need to make them common denominators by multiplying these by the other denominator. So 7 times 3, 3 times 3, 5 times 7, 7 times 3. So this gives us 35 21sts, and then I got 9 21sts or 20-onths. We're adding these, so I still have 20-onths, but we're adding, and I got 35 plus 9. So in 20-onths, I got 35 plus 9 is 44. Now 44 we could break up into 11 and 4 and 2 and 2, but none of those are the common factors with 21. So we should simplify this into a mixed number. So we got 44 divided by 21. Goes into it twice, that gives us 42. I got a remainder of 2. So my final answer 2 with the remainder of 2 out of 21. Once again, we need those we need common denominators, but let's change these into improper fractions first. So 2 times 8 plus 4, 16 plus 4 is 28. Then I got 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So 5/3, and we're adding these. But now I need those common denominators. So I'm going to take this 3 denominator and multiply it over here by the 20 and the 8. So I got 60 24ths. And then I'm going to take the 8 and multiply it into this other fraction. 5 times 8 is 40. 3 times 8, 24. So that gives us automatic common denominators of 24ths. So I'll add these. 60 plus 40, which is in 24ths, 100. So we could simplify here, we could simplify later. Let's say that we didn't notice and we changed it into a mixed number right now. That's okay. So I got 100 divided by 24. That'll do it 4 times. 96. So I got 4 remaining. So this would give me 4 with 4 remaining out of 24. But I can see that fraction. I can simplify both of these by 4. So I still got my 4. But now that fraction's turned into 1/6. So my final answer, 4 1/6. So let's change these into improper fractions first. So I got 3 times the 5, which is 15. Now plus 4 is 19. And this is in fifths. Here I've got 6 times 3, which is 18, plus the 2, which is 20, still in thirds. And then I've got 5 times 15, 75. And then I'll add that to 11 to get 86 15ths. And these are added together. Now at this point, what we could do is find common denominators for all three, which would be fine, which we could do also by multiplying all the denominators by each other. But hopefully if we just work from left to right, then maybe that would help us. So what I mean by that is I'm just going to focus on these first two numbers to the left because of the order of operations. So I'm going to add these, and then once I figure out what this sum is, then I will add the 86/15. All right? So changing these denominators into common denominators actually will give us a common denominator with the 86/15 as well. All right, so I got 42/15 plus 100/15. And I'm going to skip a step here. This is going to be 142/15. But then I still have the addition of that 86/15 right here. Now again, the nice thing about this is it gave us common denominators with those two. So I have common denominators already. I'm going to rewrite this up here to give me some space though. Alright, so in adding these two, we got 15ths. We'll add them 142 plus 86. It's a pretty big number. 228/15. Now, looking for simplification on this one. So I'm going to simplify it right now, then we'll change it into a mixed number. If I add these together, both of these are not even, so I know I can't divide by 2. 15 is divisible by 5, but 228 doesn't end with 0 or 5. So I know I can't divide by that. But if I add the numbers together, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12. That is divisible by 3. And 1 plus 5 is 6, which is also divisible by 3. So I could divide both these by 3 and simplify it. So that'd be 76/5. All right, well, let's change 76/5 into a mixed number. And I am running out of space here. So let's try this. 76/5. 5 goes into 7 once. Subtract the 5. I got 26 now, 5. With a remainder of 1. So my final answer, I got that 15 with a remainder of 1 out of 5. 15 1/5. So we got subtraction here, but let's change our 1 11/12 into an improper fraction. 1 times 12 is 12, plus 11, 33. That's better. 23/12, and we're subtracting 2/3. Well, 3 I can scale up into a 12 by multiplying it by 4. So I'm kind of shifting from the strategy only because I noticed that I can multiply 3 by 4 to get 12. So that gives me 8/12 here. And I got 23/12 minus 8/12. So in 12ths, we got 23 minus 8. All right, well, simplifying this, 23 minus 8 is 15, and this is in 12ths. 15 and 12 can be simplified by dividing both of these by 3. So I end up with 5/4, which is the same as 1, and you'd have 1 remaining out of 4. There we go. Number 11. Let's change this 12 1/7 into an improper fraction. 12 times 7, 84, plus 1, 85. So I got 85/7. Same with the 8 2/3. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2, 26. This one is subtraction. Now, we need common denominators. So I'm just going to multiply the 7 and the 85 by 3, and I'll multiply the 3 and 26 by 7. So again, this automatically gives us the common denominators, which we want, at 21. So 3 times 85, 255. And 26 times 7, 182. All right, now that we got common denominators, let's go ahead and do the subtraction. 255 minus 182, which in 21ths leaves us with 73. But this is the improper fraction. We want the mixed number, so we can do 73 divided by 21, which would be 3 times 21, 63, and so we got 10 remaining. So our final answer, we got 3 with 10 remaining out of 21. All right, 15. Let's change these into improper fractions. The 5, by the way, will just be 5 over 1. All right, but the 11 and 3/5 will change. 11 times 5 is 55, plus 3, 58 fifths. And this one's subtraction. So I want common denominators. We'll just use 5. So I'm going to change this one by multiplying these by 5. So I got 58 fifths minus 25 fifths. Which again, now we got fifths, which is good. We're subtracting. I've got 58 minus 25. Which would leave me in fifths with 33 fifths. So again, we can show the division over here, 33 divided by 5. So that would leave me with 6, so that's 30. Remainder of 3. So we'll leave it at 6 with the remainder of 3 out of 5. All right, 13. I'm going to make this 6, once again, a 6 over 1. So we'll keep that there, subtract. But I'm going to change 4 and 7/8 into an improper fraction, so I'll multiply 4 and 8, 32, plus 7. That gives me 39/8. But I want common denominators, 8 specifically on this one. So I'm going to multiply the 6 and the 1 by 8. So I got 48/8 minus 39/8, which leaves me in 8 with 48 minus 39. Still in 8. 48 minus 39 is 9, which is 1, with 1 remaining out of the 8. So 9, this one already has common denominators, which is great. So when we change these into improper fractions, we're not going to have to worry about finding new denominators for this one. So I got 7 times 5 is 35 plus 2, 37 fifths, plus 1 times 5 is 5, plus 1 is 6, so 6 fifths. And this one equal to fifths, I got 37 plus 6. So on fifths, I have 43 fifths. And we can divide those, 43 divided by 5. So that would be 8. 40 leaves us with 3. So I end up with 8 I'm sorry, yeah, 8 with a remainder of 3 fifths.
That's as low as it goes.
Nice. Yeah, let's do this one. So, 4 times 7 is 28, plus 4, 32 sevenths. And I got 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 6, 27 sevenths. So again, this one has common denominators of sevenths. 32 minus 27, I'm going to skip a step here, 5 sevenths. That's simplified. All right, so 2 2/3. So we'll change this into an improper fraction. 1/4 is a proper fraction, so we don't need to change that one. That's nice. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So I got 8/3 minus the 1/4 here. But we don't have those common denominators that we need. So I'm going to have to multiply these by 4. And I'll multiply these by 3. So I got 32 twelfths. And then I've got 3 twelfths. Subtracted. So in the twelfths, we're subtracting, I've got 32 minus 3. Yeah, which is in twelfths, 29. So 12 will go into 29 twice, which is 24, leaving us with 5 remaining out of the 12. Yeah, we'll do this one. So I got 5 times 6. We got to change this to an improper fraction. 30 plus 5 is 35. Sixths. The 10 twelfths we can't change because it's already a proper fraction. But I need common denominators, and I can see that I could multiply 6 by 2 to get that twelfths. So I got to multiply the 35 by 2 to get 70. And this we're going to add to 10 twelfths.
So it'd be 80 twelfths.
Yeah, which in twelfths, we'll show the work on this one. I got 70 plus the 10, which is 80 twelfths. Now we could simplify here. I can see that both of these are divisible by 4. So that would give me 20/3, which would, as a mixed number, be 6 and 2/3. All right, so we could change 4 1/8 into an improper fraction. Actually, just to stay with what we have been doing, let's do that. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33 eighths. Now 1 we can make as 1 over 1, like this, okay? And yes, we are subtracting, but we need common denominators first. And to do that, we could use 8, so let's just multiply 1 by 8, which would be 8 eighths. So I've got 33 eighths minus 8 eighths, which should give us an eighths. 33 minus the 8, again in eighths. I got 25 eighths. So the long division, 25 divided by 8, I got 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Remainder of 1, so our final answer is 3 with the remainder of 1 eighth. All right, 7. Again, mixed numbers, we'll change to improper fractions. Multiply and add. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1, 31 sixths. Minus 2 1/3. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1, 7/3. Now we could multiply again the 6 and the 3 together, but I know right here if I multiply the 3 by 2, I'll get the 6. So I can multiply the 7 by 2 as well. So that gives us 14 sixths and 31 sixths. subtract the 14/6. So in sixths, this gives us 31 minus 14, which again in sixths,
136.
I got 17/6, which is almost 3. So we'll divide this 17 by 6, that's 2, 12, remainder of 5. So that ends up being 2 with the remainder of 5 out of 6. Almost 3. All right, 14 is actually 14 over 1. So we will change the 2 1/9 into an improper fraction. 2 times 9 is 18 plus 1, 19/9. So if I got this 14/1 minus 19/9, I should change that 14/1 into 9ths. So I'll multiply these two by 9 to get a common denominator of 9. 9 times 14, well, now I got 9ths, which is great, and I'm subtracting. So I got 126 minus the 19, which in 9ths leaves me with 107. So I'll do 107 divided by 9. That'll go into 10 once, minus 9, 17. That's once again. And a remainder of 8. So my final answer, 11, with a remainder of 8 out of the 9.